already know that he has speed, he's got power. I know he's moving up in weight class, can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
And then Canelo's older. Crawford has the ability, but he's small, and he can look bigger Crawford could look bigger in the weigh-ins and all that stuff, but it's always a difference. When you get that fight with somebody, you can tell. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel fought him, the twin. He fought Crawford, and in all the stuff, the weigh-ins and the press conference.
Too fast and too smart for Canelo. Even Canelo is a good boxer. I'm not saying like nothing from not taking nothing from Canelo.
Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is being billed as the biggest fight of the year, and Teddy Atlas has given his honest breakdown. Atlas believes Crawford has what it takes to win. Regardless of weight class, he praised Crawford's skills, discipline, and adaptability, while arguing that Canelo is no longer the same fighter he once was. According to Atlas, the Mexican superstar has lost the hunger and fire that once made him great. He claims Canelo's recent performances show decline, even calling him overrated compared to Crawford. For Atlas, Crawford's sharpness and drive make him the favorite to win.
The urgency's not there. The fire's not there. At least it wasn't there a week ago. At least I say that. It wasn't there a week ago. Maybe it'll be there now. Maybe he's the kind of guy that, and I get it, that at this point in their career, it has to be a big fight to get up. That Canelo can't get up for these fights. He couldn't get up for that fight. All right. If you want to go down that road, go ahead. But my road is still possible. That he got old, that it just doesn't have that fire no more. Oh my God, I'm going to say this one. That maybe he's a little overrated. I listen, I know he's tremendous. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? If you look at some of his biggest fights, the fights where you had to be great to win, that you fought great fighters or near great fighters, you could make the argument that he lost the first Triple G. He didn't embarrass himself, but he got a draw. Second one, you could make the argument he lost that. I know it was a different kind of fight, and he got better. But you could make that. You could make the argument he lost to Lara. He did lose to Mayweather. You could make the argument it was too young in his career. Maybe. Although it wasn't that young. He turned pro when he was 15 or 16.
The Ejidijah's Mean Machine Kavaliauskas, who has shared the ring with Crawford, strongly believes size will not decide the outcome of this clash. He argues that Crawford's skill set and intelligence inside the ring are far superior, making him too smart for Canelo. In his view, weight and natural size cannot outweigh Crawford's ring IQ, adaptability, and timing. Mean Machine insists Crawford is one of the most calculated fighters of his generation, capable of adjusting mid-fight and dismantling opponents regardless of their physical advantages. He describes Crawford as a master of pace, distance, and rhythm qualities that often matter more than sheer size. For him, this matchup clearly favors Terence Crawford.
No, it's not good for Crawford. Canelo's too big. Right now, my position changed. I think Crawford is too fast and too smart for Canelo. Even Canelo is a good boxer. I'm not saying like nothing from not taking nothing from Canelo, but the way when you see he's too big, when you see Usyk fights and what Usyk did to the big guys like Joshua and Fury, so the size and that doesn't matter. I think the skill level matters, and Crawford, he gained weight, but I think he's gonna be even faster, and his head works good in the ring. His boxing IQ is just on top. So I would say 50-50, but right now I'm kind of leaning more to Crawford.
And that's just because of what you saw Usyk do?
It's not I'm just giving an example. Size doesn't matter in the boxing. When they say Canelo is big and he's fighting 175, 168, and Crawford just moving from 147, 154. So I'm just putting an example that size doesn't matter, and that the fighter makes the fight. I think it's just that I see that Crawford's training and that he's big too right now. So he gained weight, but not lots of people gain weight that sloppy weight, I would say fat, but he gained he looked strong, massively strong. So I think it's gonna be a good one.
how did Terrence feel physically when you faced him? Like, how is his strength? Because yeah, a lot of people do make the point that Canelo's just maybe too big, too powerful for Crawford.
Crawford, I wouldn't say like his punches was like super strong, but his timing and accuracy is what makes difference.
Mean Machine also draws a comparison to Canelo's 2013 fight against Floyd Mayweather. Back then, a younger and less seasoned Canelo was schooled by Mayweather's speed, defense, and ring generalship. He believes Crawford has the ability to replicate a similar strategy using movement, precision, and smart counterpunching to frustrate Canelo and neutralize his biggest weapons. However, he acknowledges one key difference. Today's Canelo has far more experience. Over the years, Alvarez has fought and beaten elite opponents, learning patience and adaptability that were absent in the Mayweather fight.
Throw hard, but they just throw. And he throws like his calculation for the punches and like timing and aiming to the right spots is just like on another level.
Do you think that's going to be the thing that complicates the fight the most for Canelo?
I think so, yeah. And we can go back a little bit to Mayweather Canelo, and Canelo was young and like Mayweather smart, but it can be like familiar fight like that. Even Canelo right now have more experience, and Crawford is still on his prime. So yeah, we will see.
From just your experience, you knowing boxing, like how do you think the fight will play out? Do you think it'll be a slow fight? Do you think it'll be tactical? Like, do you think Crawford?
I think it's gonna start a little bit slowly. They're gonna be careful with each other just to kind of like measure each other and see where they at. And like they're like that's why like they're like champs and they're like great ones. They just don't go like crazy like from the first round.
Former world champion Regis Prograis offers a contrasting view. He dismisses the idea that Crawford's punches will have any serious effect on a naturally bigger, granite chin fighter like Canelo. According to Prograis, Alvarez has absorbed shots from some of boxing's hardest hitters, men larger than Crawford and has proven nearly unshakable. Still, he doesn't completely count Crawford out. While questioning Crawford's power, Prograis acknowledges that skill, strategy, and determination could still carry him to victory. In his eyes, Crawford's stance switching, technique, and flawless game plans make him dangerous even for someone as formidable as Canelo.
I think that Crawford has the ability to outbox Canelo. You gotta look at, and that Canelo's older. Crawford has the ability, but he's small, and he can look bigger in. Crawford could look bigger in the weigh-ins and all that stuff, but it's always a difference. When you get that fight with somebody, you can tell. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel fought him, the twin. He fought Crawford, and in all the stuff, the weigh-ins and the press conference, Jamel looked like the bigger man. His head, his neck, everything looked bigger. But when they got in the fight, you can tell. You can see who really was the bigger man. And I think that's the same thing. Crawford is putting on weight, but it's not weight like Canelo had the weight already. He doesn't have to put on muscle. He doesn't have to do that. He's already big like that. But I think that Crawford does have the style. He does have the style to beat him. If you look at the people that beat him or gave him troubles, Irislan, DeLaura, Austin Trout, Floyd, and Bivol, they gave him trouble and stuff like that. And Skull moved around a little bit too. So I think that Crawford has that, but I don't know how Crawford is gonna respond when he gets hit. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel was undisputed at 154, and Canelo hit him and shit. Jamel was like, hell no. Jamel took a knee, So it's a big difference. And Crawford had that one fight at 154, and he didn't, Madrimov would touch him up a little bit. And this is nowhere close to Madrimov. You talk about Canelo. Now, if it was just another bigger guy, I would go with Crawford. But you talk about great. This might be, people might kill me for it, but well, not really. But this might be the best Mexican fighter ever. One of them, at least, right?
Lee Vargas Jr., who has sparred with Crawford, echoes Prograis' skepticism. Vargas openly states he doesn't believe Crawford can hurt Canelo. Having felt the Nebraskan's punches firsthand, he admits Crawford is sharp and precise, but not heavy-handed enough to trouble a fighter of Canelo's size and durability. Vargas points out that Alvarez has faced and survived the power of much larger men, raising doubts about whether Crawford can generate the same level of danger. That said, Vargas doesn't dismiss him entirely. He acknowledges that timing, accuracy, and consistency can break down even the toughest fighters. But in his view, Crawford's shots may not carry enough weight to stop Canelo from pressing forward with relentless pressure.
Gonna be done in camp.
You know, all we're doing is putting the final touches. I mean, I've been sparring Ron Ellis. I mean, this guy is a dog, bro. He's been getting me ready. I mean, he's been Canelo's sparring partner. Shout out to my guy Ron, man. He comes, tries to knock me out every single sparring. This guy fights at 68. Big dude, goes southpaw, and hits hard. So I know he fought Benavidez. So you know, he's a veteran, and he's doing veteran tactics in there where he's not letting me rest in the clinch. He's making me work every second of every round. And I got something for Callum. I got something for the whole boxing world. And, you know, I feel you're just as good as your preparation. And we've been doing the road work. We've been doing the mountain work. I've been recovering hard. I've been getting my rest. You know, I haven't been drinking no dark sodas, bro. I'm feeling like Tyson Fury right now, bro. Like
Mickey Bay takes a more controversial stance, accusing Canelo Alvarez of cherry-picking by accepting a fight with Crawford. Bay argues that Alvarez has often been selective with opponents, waiting for favorable timing or physical advantages. In this case, he believes Canelo saw an opportunity against a smaller man, moving up in weight, making the matchup physically favorable. Critics across boxing have echoed this sentiment, claiming Alvarez is leveraging size and strength against a naturally lighter opponent. Still, Bay acknowledges Crawford is too talented to be written off. Even if Canelo enters as the bigger man, Crawford's intelligence and adaptability could turn the tables.
That size comparison type of a thing to make it seem like it's not a type of cherry pick that he has to go up into this battle.
No, he a lot bigger. See, people looking at height. Height don't got nothing to do with weight and where you been fighting at. Like, Terrence put his weight on, so it's a difference. No, Canelo's a lot bigger, like, hands down. Like, just mass, as far as mass, he naturally that thick. You know, he got to come down. Terrence, just because your weight is up there, that don't mean that's like putting a dude, Benavidez, as a heavyweight. He might walk around at 205 or whatever. That don't mean he a heavyweight, though. So, Canelo is by far the bigger man. We didn't seen him hit dudes 6'3", 6'2" in the arm and hurt him. Like, he didn't hurt Kovalev, light heavyweight. So, I mean, didn't he have a light heavyweight title?
Well, when he fought Kovalev?
Just period at light heavyweight. Didn't Canelo win the light? Did he?
Nah, he just Kovalev. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, he might have only fought there a couple times, but the fact that he fought up there though, and he fought way up at light heavyweight, but he been at super middleweight for a minute, so he the bigger guy for sure. So really, he gotta hurt Crawford, or he got to get his major respect. He got to get his major respect to make Crawford feel like he got to survive. If he can't do that, then he probably ain't gonna win.
Do you feel like you was talking about Crawford? He needs to poke his way out of this fight, right? We've seen that. You know, Crawford's been lined up by lots of fighters. Not Errol Spence, of course, but other fighters that was able to line up with shots that don't necessarily hit like a Canelo. Now, Canelo gonna line you up regardless, right?